I see a whole new wave of solopreneurs, of one-person businesses, and creative leaders emerging in this sort of age of information overload. And to me, it's so inspiring to feel like I'm not alone in this, but to also feel that there's this whole new archetype of successful creative emerging. And so in this video, I really want to break down 6 of those qualities and skills that are making this new wave of entrepreneurs so embodied and successful and sort of heart aligned, making an impact in the world, so that by the end of this video, you can be more resourced to deepen your practice as a creative entrepreneur and become that much more magnetic, and to join this sort of new wave of embodied solopreneurs, embodied creators, if you will. So before I dive into those 6 traits, I want to introduce myself. My name is Kev. I'm an award-winning furniture designer, and now I'm a creative strategist where I help ambitious creatives design and build aligned businesses from the inside out. So what are the 6 traits of this new embodied creator, this new wave of solopreneurs that is making them so magnetic and successful? And I want to just give you a disclaimer. This isn't some surface level bullshit. Like, this is the deep core work that I'm seeing these entrepreneurs do that is creating tremendous impact, helping them make great money and really have a fulfilling business. So if you're here for some quick fix, please go find another video. This is some deep, deep inner work. But if you're here, you know that that's the work that is really juicy and making an impact. So I wrote them down because I'm old school, so I'm gonna do this the old-fashioned way. And this is no chronological order, so I'm just gonna dive into what's really working for me and the conversations I have with the successful entrepreneurs that just expand the fuck out of me, what works for them. So the first one is what I call stop being leaky. Now this is such a huge topic nowadays because people aren't really taught deep integrity. Most people are just, for lack of a better word, leaking their energy. Whether that energy be their creative energy, which is also their sexual energy, and it's really a sexual energy, or just their attention is being taken from them and leaking out, and really just their power and life force given away to things they can't control, like something political or this or that, and you can do whatever the heck you want, but this is just my opinion, right? So to stop being leaky means to tune into where I'm leaking. So as a man, and this also holds true for the feminine, but I'll speak for myself. Most of my entrepreneurial friends are men, but I have a few women that are fucking killing it in my life and I'm inspired, but I'll speak to the masculine. One of the most powerful things you can do as a masculine creative practitioner is to observe your sexual leaks. Where are you leaking your creativity through your sort of sexual leaks throughout the day? Now, this doesn't mean that you can't appreciate the deep beauty of the goddess, but get in integrity with yourself. Where are you letting energy leave yourself? Are you just distracting yourself with things like lust, with things like pornography and other sectors of life that are just really running so rampant in the masculine culture today? I won't dive too far into that, but that's a look into where you can leak, you know? Where are you distracted and seeking validation from the feminine? Where are you constantly looking for the feminine to say that you are doing a good job or whatever it is? You're leaking energy. So to bring that back is to cultivate wholeness, is to practice sourcing your own own sense of approval and self-worth and validation, self-contained in your own heart. If you are feeling like you're just yearning and lonely or whatever that is, practice filling your cup up. reach out to a friend, do some breath work, go walk out in nature. Replace those sort of moments of leakiness with something more nourishing. Now, this can be a whole topic, a whole masterclass, and it's something I'm really passionate about because I just see so many men that aren't taught how to really move their creative energy through their bodies, and I think it's one of the biggest setbacks and drawbacks for people starting a successful creative business is we can't really source our energy fully and give it to the world because it's just leaving us all the time. So that's a great area you can look. Observe to where you might be leaking, where you're looking for validation outside of yourself, X, Y, Z. I could talk about it on and on, but I'm going to move on to the next one. And again, this is in no particular order. This is just how I wrote it down. So you're getting what you're getting. So tailing off of that, the second powerful quality is to square off with your need for validation. The reason why this holds most entrepreneurs back is we're placing our self-worth on our products and services being well received in the marketplace, which is backwards. Which means you're actually not feeling worthy right now as you give your gifts, or you're shaky about it. And I'm much, much more concerned and interested in helping you as a creative entrepreneur become really confident in your self-concept and narrative and your sort of identity before you sort of give your gifts. That way, you're actually unattached to how they're received in the world, which is going to allow you to fail faster, to gather data, feedback, tweak your messaging, your product, all from a place of not taking it personally because you're good. You're whole. You know your value doesn't live out there, it's here, right? So to square off with your need for validation means getting real honest with yourself and looking into all of the places that you are expecting the world around you to tell you that you're doing a good job, that you're on the right path, that you are worthy, right? And it's deep work. Like, this is deep, deep work. But to embrace that head on, heart forward, is going to have a tremendous impact on your capacity to show up, express your creativity more fully, because if you are not seeking validation in the world out there, you access such deeper authenticity, which authenticity is so magnetic, everyone's looking for it, and that's why nobody can find it because they're looking for it. It's not found, it's freed. It's freed from within. So I want you to free authenticity from within. So the third quality that's also sort of tied into those first two is to process stuck emotions. So I'll share a little bit about me. I always considered myself to be someone who was sensitive and connected to my emotions, but it really wasn't until this last year that I discovered that I lived most of my life numb from the neck down, that I had so much repressed emotion and energy in my system that I didn't know was the very limitations to the things I craved. Why can I only make this much money a month? Why can I only experience this much depth and intimacy in my relationship? Why do I keep seeing the same patterns playing out? It was because there was deeper emotions that I had just repressed for so long that I never allowed myself to have a relationship with. The big ones were grief and anger for me. They might be different for you. Shit, it might be joy. A lot of people have a hard time deeply embodying joy, which flabbergasts me because joy is just more natural to me, but I get it. Joy can be strong, or it's just like, okay, what's next? So to process stuck emotions requires a certain level of deep awareness of acknowledging that you're stuck. And if you're stuck in life, chances are there's an emotion stuck there too. Go watch my video, How to Get Unstuck in Life. It's a good one, it speaks to that. So to acknowledge you're stuck then allows you a doorway and to look into what emotion might be stuck there. And chances are it's something around anger, frustration, resentment, maybe even some grief. those types of, more dense sort of emotional expressions, right? So if you can invite a loving conversation with them, create some space in your day or in ceremony to open up what it would be like to embody those emotions, to feel them in a container. Never try your best to not put your emotions at someone else, even if they involve someone else. Even if you're angry at your boss or your roommate or your partner, allow yourself the space to process them in your own space, because it's cleaner. You're allowing yourself to sit with the fullness of the emotion and not expecting someone else to save you or change it, right? And again, I know this is deep in sort of woo, but the reason why this is so powerful for the entrepreneur is the more that you are emotionally fluid is the degree to which you are more open for creativity and depth to move through you. So if you are a more clear channel for creative ideas to land, you are more able to express them into the world, and I believe that life rewards those individuals by constantly flowing ideas and energy and sort of magnetism through you. So the more you can become more liberated and freed in your emotional fluidity, the more that you're going to access, again, deeper presence and authenticity, which the world fucking wants so badly, right? So processing your stuck emotions is a really, really powerful way to become more magnetic and authentic. And if you need support, I would highly encourage you to see a somatic therapist, work with a coach, a consultant, a mentor, or just hold circle with your brothers or your sisters. So yeah, we'll have to pivot because I can talk on and on and on and on. The fourth one is to learn the high value skill of presence. Now this actually is what I believe is everybody's main product. It's presence. How you manifest and materialize that, whether you hand paint signs for local businesses, clean solar panels, design furniture, guide other people in how to start a business, whatever the heck it is, presence is your product, wrapped up in the shape and the flavor of whatever it is it represents in the material world. So those first three sort of categories of fixing your leaks, I don't remember what the second one was, squaring off with your need for validation, and processing stuck emotions, all of that is sort of a flow into helping you become more present and embodying that skill more deeply, because that is the skill that will take you from wherever you think your ceiling is, wherever you're struggling in your business. That presence will make your revenue ceiling your new floor. It's doubled my business in the last year, and I hope that it doubles it again. And I'm seeing that impact. And also just the way that I'm able to serve and the way that my clients are impacted seems just so much more fulfilling and exciting. So the high value skill of presence is something you cultivate through doing some of those deep inner practices, connecting more so to what makes you come more alive, embodying more play. Again, I've spoken to this in some of my previous videos. Please go and binge those because they're deep and they're powerful, and this is all interconnected. But presence, the more you can be fully present with who you're with, what you're doing, how connected you are to your breath, how deeply you're listening, that's really going to determine your capacity of being able to cultivate success as a creative entrepreneur. And it's what all of these new solopreneurs are doing. They're so deeply present with what they crave to bring forth into the world. They know who they're serving. They know how they're going to speak to them, and they embody the deep presence that is required to let that energy transmit through their offerings, because that's really how that transmission occurs. The deeper you're present, the more that energy is transmitted into your offering and is felt by the world around you. And so once you develop that high value skill by doing the deep inner work, those first 3 steps, then you get to embody what I call straight to the core marketing. This is the no fluff, no bullshit. You're speaking straight to the heart of the people that you crave to serve because you are them. And you've done the deep work to become more present, to understand them because you are them, and you can speak to their heart. Whether that is literally you're speaking to the heart of, let's say like in this video, I'm trying to speak to the core of the ambitious creative, the new aspiring solopreneur who is excited but doesn't quite know where to go and feels a little stuck, and helping them do the deep inner work to unblock themselves so that they can create more alignment and fulfillment in their life and business. That's what I'm speaking to. But it can be even as simple as, you know what it's like to have a fucking shitty sign on your business, and what would it be like to have a really nice, fun, hand-painted sign that starts conversations, that is a point of connection in the community, that brings people joy and delight just to see that sign out in their community. You know how to speak straight to the core of that person, so you make your marketing straight to the core like that, because your embodiment, your deep level of presence, your embodiment is your marketing. And so you use that level of embodiment to just cut through the bullshit and speak straight to the core. That's pretty fucking powerful, right? And so once you dial in your straight to the core marketing, then you get to sort of the last skill, the last quality, which is productizing yourself. Now, I hear a lot of people talk about productizing yourself, but I call such bullshit because they're just basically saying, there's something you're good at, productize it, get it out into the world. And again, like that may work. But until you sort of sit and do this sort of deep work to get into the core of your creativity, your power, your life force, which means patching up your leaks, where you're leaking energy, creative, sexually, your attention, all of those things, and squaring off with your need for validation, processing deep emotions. Let me remember what the 4th one was. Learning the high value skill of presence, and learning how to speak straight to the core of your customer or your ideal client avatar. Productizing yourself is useless, right? So only until you get to that place can you then productize yourself. And this is what's really going to expand your business and expand your impact as a creative entrepreneur, because you now have something that is readily available for the world to embrace and to create transformation. So I'll give you 2 examples of how I've productized myself. The first of which is my long-standing business that I've been running, architectural design and fabrication. I had been doing sort of custom one-off work for years and years and years. And then I started to notice a pattern of a need that people were looking for a very specific type of functional handrail or metal work, but they wanted like the sexy aesthetic design. And I thought, hey, the design is the same almost every time with some minimal reconfigurations, because most stairs follow the same rise over run, the slope, this and that. There's obviously discrepancies, but I can actually productize this and put it into different packages, right? So instead of this being ultra custom, I don't know what it's gonna be, clients can have a very clear idea of, oh, it's 20 feet or is it 40 feet? Here's the price range, book now. And that totally expanded my business because it's less abstract and it was more concrete. People knew what they were gonna get, and people could book and buy before me needing to go through all of the sort of custom client work, meeting, proposal, this and that. It cut out all the bullshit and was like, do you want skin in the game? And if for some reason the project wasn't a right fit, of course, like, you know, they're not the right fit, I can refund them. But that was one way that I productized my service-based business by noticing this pattern and being able to fulfill this need in a plug and play way. Here's the design, here's what you could expect, here's a couple different material options, and it either falls into A, B, or C as far as price goes. Man, oh man, that changed my business so much. And the way I've been able to productize this sort of offering is I was only doing one-on-ones, coaching and consulting. That was sparse because I didn't have much capacity to really intimately work with people until really the last 6 months or so. But then I took what was coming up in all of these sessions and all of these coaching containers, the same questions, the same struggles, and I put them into the Embodied Creator Toolkit. All of the experiments that I was guiding my clients and and my customers through, I packaged up into sort of all-you-can-eat sort of database of experiments and resources to help you go through the deep inner work that I've sort of laid out in this video, to help you do that work and how it translates into creating your offering, giving your gift out into the world, remaining grounded, separating your self-worth from all of those experiments. And now that's a product that's available for the world to embrace. And not to mention, it's extraordinary for me to be able to sit back and know that people are being impacted and I'm being paid for something that I took the space to make months and months and months ago. That's pretty powerful, you know. So those are ways that you can productize yourself once you deepen your level of embodiment through those sort of traits and qualities that I laid forth. So those are the 6 sort of traits, I would even call them 6 steps to deepening your practice as a new wave of solopreneurs that is really going to help you radically shift and grow your business in the way that you show up. So thank you for being here with me. I appreciate y'all so deeply. If you got a kick out of this and resonated, you'll love my newsletter. And as I mentioned earlier, the Embodied Creator Toolkit's a great resource. Link in the description below. But in the meantime, thank you for being here. Appreciate y'all so much. See you in the next one. Ciao.